Question 33 in the Book of Questions. What is the greatest accomplishment of your life? Is there anything you hope to do that is even better? Well, how does one judge an accomplishment of one's life? I mean, I've managed to live longer than most of the people who've ever lived, so well done me there. And it's frankly something of a miracle that I ever existed at all. Just think of the number of coincidences that had to happen so that a planet ended up orbiting a sun of just the right sort of size, and there was just the right amount of water, and then life evolved. And how unlikely is that? And then humans have to evolve, and then my parents have to exist, they have to meet each other, the right sperm has to meet that, and then hello, I am the result. Yeah, but the thing is that we never purpose that, do we? We don't set out to achieve the accomplishment of our own birth, so I don't think that really counts. And beside everyone's managed that. Yes, you're all miracles. Well done. But we're all equally unlikely. So the greatest accomplishment of my life, well, and I suppose an accomplishment could be a skill, couldn't it? And if you get specific enough with a skill, like answering stupid questions like this on video, it could be that there's some skill. In fact, I think it's very likely that there's some skill that is very specific, and I am the best at that thing in the world, but I don't even know what that skill is. And besides, skills die with you. If I went onto a bus tomorrow, all my wonderful skills, I might be the best Lindy hopper in, I don't know, northeast England or something, or northern England, I don't know, in some quite large area. Do you know I don't have any decent video of my dancing? Well, all these years I've been making videos and maybe I'm not that good a dancer. That would be one explanation. Anyway, if I were to go under a bus tomorrow, all that ephemeral skill just goes. There's no lasting legacy, but does an accomplishment have to be a lasting legacy? Because most hunter-gatherers presumably didn't leave much of a lasting legacy, but they could have been just fab. And maybe what they were just fab at was hunting and gathering, which is perfectly respectable if you're a hunter-gatherer, I would imagine. Now, I've passed on the skills to others. That could be an accomplishment. And indeed, I have taught people at Lindy Hop who've then gone on to become Lindy Hop teachers. Indeed, I'm able to wear this badge of my own design because I taught Kat Foley, who went on to become a very successful and very popular Lindy Hop teacher, and she was flown all around Europe and taught at all sorts of fancy events. And she set up Mersey Swing in Liverpool, and then she became a teacher in London, and so she has taught loads of other people who are then teaching loads of other people. So she's given me loads of Lindy grandchildren and great-grandchildren. And so I see that as an accomplishment. If I go under a bus tomorrow, and assuming that she doesn't, she'll still be alive, and people will be able to say, oh, he taught Kat Foley, you know. I taught Taisia Gullo as well, and she's teaching somewhere in Europe, last I heard. And there are children in the world because of that, because I, having set up a scene in Newcastle, having taught people, they've got really into it, and they've gone to lots of events, and then they've met people and married, and there are now children in this world who would not exist were it not for the fact that I taught somebody some Lindy Hop. And put enough enthusiasm into them such that they then got really into it. And but will those children show me any gratitude? No. An ingratitude of children. I believe that's the collective noun. So again, it's not a tremendous accomplishment, because even if there are many children in the world who exist and wouldn't have existed were it not for me, I didn't ever intend those specific children. I didn't plan that, so I don't think I can really count those as accomplishments. I have no children of my own. That would be a much more direct genetic legacy that could live on after me. I think I may be the victim of a rather unfortunate Venn diagram where the set of women intelligent enough for me to find attractive might not intersect with the set of women stupid enough to let me use their wombs. So it could be that it's a thing I have created, some piece of media. Could be a film, for example. When I was 14, I made the film Prax Warrior, and you can see a not very well telecinied version of it on YouTube. I did it with an old amateur camera that I had at the time. I should perhaps redo it with more modern equipment. But anyway, for a 14-year-old, that's a pretty good film. The BBC certainly thought so. In fact, yes, that's what this is. There you go. They gave me this. Yes, because I won the BBC Young Filmmakers competition with it. So the BBC liked it and showed it to many millions of people on television. Many millions who will have forgotten seeing it, of course. But it's only really good for a 14-year-old. It's not going to go down in the history of cinema as one of the all-time greats. It has a very simple plot. Man on horse kills people. There you go. Oh, I've given it away. Never mind. Built for the Stone Age was perhaps a much better thing, but that was the series that, the greatest pilot for the series that never got made. So is that really an accomplishment? You can see that as well. Built for the Stone Age. It was amongst the first things I ever uploaded to YouTube. I spent 8 years of my life trying to find television commissioners to commission it. Every television professional who saw the pilot, every cameraman, every director, every producer, they all went, "Oh, can I be your cameraman? Can I be your editor? Can I work on it?" Because they liked it. And I thought, oh, well, people in the industry, they all really like it. Okay, this is good. I could not get any commissioner to watch it because I just wasn't famous enough. Oh no, we'll just send in a letter, which we probably won't read. But even when they did read the letter, people who'd been demanding year after year for new groundbreaking television that's with cross-genre projects. I was thinking, okay, I'll give you groundbreaking, I'll give you cross-genre. No, there's no such genre as that. That would never work on telly. Watch the pilot! Yeah, we don't watch pilots. So I dumped it on YouTube and it died a death on YouTube. Got very few views, and so that was the greatest series that never got made. So even if it would have been a great series, it's not really an accomplishment, is it? It's if anything, it's a testimony to failure. But on the very first day that I uploaded that to the channel, I also uploaded a silly video which I thought, well, I may as well just make something new. And I just talked about swords in my front room. 5 years later, a video about swords don't go shing when you draw them went viral. It's my one and only viral hit. And that launched this channel. So now, maybe it's not any one particular video on this channel, but it's this channel in general is my greatest accomplishment. Although, admittedly, I didn't set out to create this channel. If I had, I would have spent some while thinking up a really bad name for it. But fortunately, I named it Lindybeige because just my username. The thing on when you signed up, it said you'll need a username. I didn't at the time know what a username was. Just your hobby and your favourite colour. Okay, so Lindybeige. I'm really glad, happy accident, because if I had known that it would become my channel's name, I would have thought for ages and come up with something nowhere near as good. So some years ago, I did a sum. I saw what the average length of view of one of my videos was, and the total number of views. I just multiplied one by the other, and I then divided by 75 years, which I took as a lifetime, and this was many years ago, and it was already 4 human lifetimes have been spent, wasted, squandered watching this rubbish I put out. And now, of course, that's lifetimes shared among many, but even so, that's an awful lot of times people spent watching this stuff, and I suppose that's got to have influenced some people's lives, and I know that it has, because for the last 10 years, for instance, I've been one of the referees at the National Roleplay Gaming Championships, and this year it was Glasgow. And about 4 or 5 people came up to me and said, "Oh, it's thanks to you that I came to university. Oh, I decided to get into history, and I'm now reading history at university. Is it because of you? Or I'm now reading archaeology because of you?" Or, and I thought, oh no, there are people making major life decisions based on me. And I'd just like to say to any of you who have taken some major life decision based on my influence, I am terribly sorry. But of course, they will then live different lives, meet different people, and different children will come into the world as a result. And so there will be that strange legacy, the next generation of humanity will be different because of me. But none of that was really purposed. So maybe it has to be a thing. It has to be a thing I've made. Is it something I put a lot of effort into? Is that my greatest accomplishment? I put a lot of effort into making armour over the years, but I don't think that those suits of armour are going to influence many other people after I'm gone. I've painted some terrific wargaming armies, but only a tiny fraction of people would have any appreciation, frankly, for how great they are. And I think most people would just think, oh, it's a load of toy soldiers. And when I die, I'm terrified that people who don't know the value of what I've got will just throw them in the bin. Oh, nobody will want this. And they'll just throw away a wargaming army, not realising that there are wargamers who would sacrifice bits of their anatomy for a wargaming army like that, frankly. So maybe, yes, maybe it has to be a thing. So is it something I've written, a script? Perhaps the best of my scripts was Stoke Mandeville, Astronaut and Gentleman, a tale of science and heroism for all the family except ladies. Although even that wasn't mine, because that was co-written with my colleague Fraser Charlton. But if I were to make a movie, that's also a collaborative effort. So perhaps it turns out to be a really great movie, all right, Casablanca of its day. But Casablanca was largely an accident, and maybe my direction wasn't all that good, but it's thanks to the lighting man and the first director and the editor. They rescued it, and it became a classic, but it wasn't really my accomplishment. So does it have to be something that I do on my... Well, in that case, I've got to write a novel, because you can do that sort of near enough on your own. That's not so collaborative. And I have written a script for a graphic novel, which will be coming out one of these days. It's still being drawn. Every year we think, this is the year. So, yes, that gets me on to, is there anything that you hope to do that will be even better? Yes. I'm not satisfied. I want to make a movie. I want there to be... I've recorded one audiobook, and I've got a few others on the way, but that they have been delayed. There are many video projects. But really, I became a YouTuber by accident. What I always wanted to be was a movie director, and I want to direct some really... And movies do last. It's not just internet movie database. They seem to last in people's memories, whereas you could see something on television and most people forget it. Movies are things that people do tend to remember, and an accomplishment is presumably something that people remember.